Dory, it's such a pleasure to be out here with you. We're back in Equestrian Estates, obviously on our steeds. It's really such an honor to be with somebody like yourself who's not only an owner here, but owns an equestrian center back home.
Yes, that is true. And I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, tell us a little bit about, what brought you here, what made you want to become an owner here, and then we'll start talking about the future that we have here at the Equestrian Center.
It's a good story. We had talked about wanting to live somewhere in the Caribbean, not knowing where, but somewhere that had something to do with horses also. And some places don't really want to let people come in that aren't from there. And my husband saw an infomercial about the reserve, made some calls, we saw that there were horses, and went from there, and we fell in love with the place. Decided it didn't matter if you were on the water or not, as long as you were in this community.
That's great. Well, for my role and the guys that we have with me here is Michael and Jermaine. They've been here with us for now 5-6 years and putting this program together. Our focus up to now has really been to just create the experience that we're getting right now, miles and miles and miles of different bridle trails and the different ecosystems. But it comes time, any program life, that it's time to develop it into an actual center. And that's what privilege we have to have owners like you who actually bring that. And I really thank you for putting the inputs that you have already and the future of the project. What do you envision and what do you see as being the future for this project?
I would like to put in my 2 cents worth of how to make it into a place where people can possibly board their horses if they wanted to have their own horses, or use the horses that are here, have an arena where I can teach them or someone can teach them how to ride so that they feel more comfortable than just getting on and saying, this is how you steer, let's go ride.
That's right.
They may want to know a little bit more than that. Children, adults, everybody.
Yeah, there's sort of the idea of like getting on a horse and actually learning more of the skill, the art of horseback riding. One of the things I found that was really interesting that I didn't really know, that part of having an equestrian center is almost like a landscape project. And tell me a little bit about some of the theming and you were telling me about last time you were here.
Well, I thought that if we had an arena and we had people who may want to learn how to jump or even just go over a pole and not really jump, but have a theme of the ecosystems and have each area be one of the ecosystems decorated, and have the ocean, have the river, have the savanna. It would be just really cool to do something like that.
That is cool. I'll tell you, one of the things I learned real quick, and these guys know, when I used to work up at the office full-time, if I could break away even for an hour or two, I'd run over there, say, saddle one up, let's go for a ride. And I'll tell you what, there was just simply no better place to, one, clear your mind, and two, to really either bird watch or the hawk that we've got right up there that's soaring above us, and really, learn about the place, feel the temperature. I mean, I can remember so many times where we were out there and, it was a mid-afternoon shower.
Yeah.
Freshen the horses and you, and that's all part of it. But back to what we were talking about with the Equestrian Center itself, and having, having a place where people could come to learn, but also, it's more of almost a landscaping exercise in letting people feel like they're in a certain place. Correct,
yes. I agree, and there's so much potential and things that can be done that can make this place just even better than it already is. They have some very nice horses here, very great people to work with, and look forward to more things that we can do for the community.
You've actually already, well, the other thing I've noticed that, last night we had there was dinner at the marina, and you obviously talk about where you're from and what you do back home, and I heard you, overheard you talking with some other owners about the Equestrian Center and the equestrian program, and I can see their excitement.
Yes.
And that's such a neat part of being in a community like this.
Yes, because people love horses. I mean, there might be a few people out there that are afraid and would like to have the opportunity to overcome that, and that's something that we can do. There's people that just want to be better at riding. There's some people that are just rusty, haven't ridden in a while, and need someone to help them get back into the saddle.
Yeah, exactly. And then once you are back in that saddle, we have so many opportunities to either improve your skill levels or maybe even just venture out on the property.
Yes, yes, it is. It is a wonderful place to be.
It absolutely is. You know, one of the interesting things that I found when you came down, you immediately were looking after not just thinking about the program, but you were thinking about the health and the wellness of the horses themselves. And you have already brought, and I thought it was so neat, this last time you've come back, you brought some nutritional supplements for the horses. Tell us a little bit about what you were thinking is.
From my knowledge, I've been doing this actually way longer than I even want to admit, because that means I'm getting older. But with that, you accumulate a lot of things over the years that you learn. Some things you learn the hard way, some things you just learn from being there. And you know, when I see the horses, the majority of them are in fabulous shape.
Yeah, thank
but
you.
When there's one or two that might look like they need a little something extra, I wanted to bring my knowledge in and see what I could do to help so that they all look just as healthy. And you know, learning how you can do that here is what I'm trying to do.
Fantastic, and thank you so much for that. You know, it is part of it, as you were saying, is, you know, you and your husband, Mark, have worked very long in professional life, and you want to come down here, but I think it's so interesting that you want to remain active. And I think
Yes.
I've seen more and more people doing that. Tell me something about, you know, what inspires you to remain active in something you've been doing for, like you said, many years.
Well, first of all, I'm too young to retire.
There you go.
I have
That's
too
right.
much life still in me to do things.
There's no such word.
That's right.
That's
and but I wanted to slow down the pace that I'm doing back home.
Yep.
And coming here will allow me to be able to do that. But I know too much, and I don't want it to get wasted to not continue to share my knowledge about horses in the horse world.
And what a better place to do it than in your own community.
Absolutely.
In this tropical paradise.
Yes.
Right.
How about this? I've ridden more here than I've had an opportunity to ride at home because there's not enough time at home.
You're
and how sad is that? How sad,
right.
you know, when you have many horses and you don't get to ride them. But here, I can come and ride and enjoy it. So that's a wonderful thing.
That's wonderful, and I'm so happy to hear that. And that's what we're really here all about, is to create those opportunities. And one of our cornerstones being outdoor pursuits is to get people outside, remain active, be healthy, and as you are, you're even keeping our horses healthy too.
Yes.
So,
look forward to our future for sure.
I do too. Thanks, Dory, so much.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I love this ride, and we're heading back to the barn right now. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Come on down and ride. Dory's ready.
I'm ready.